Hey, what's up guys? And I'm out in the field scouting. In this video, I'm gonna be showing you how to set your focus point to infinity for those tack sharp stars for night photography, Milky Way photography, so you can get out at night and shoot the perfect shots. Right after this. Hey, what's up guys, and welcome into the video. On this channel we talk landscape photography, so if you're into taking your camera outside, anything like that, consider subscribing below. Now in this video specifically, we're having a huge Milky Way in Haiti where I am right now on Saturday night. Right now it's Thursday, but I wanted to come out and be sure that I was going to get tack sharp stars in the Milky Way photo, because while I'm planning out my Milky Way shots, I want to be sure that I'm already set up to get the perfect shot before I even hit the field. Here's a whole video on how to plan out a Milky Way, but getting out in the field and scouting a location is half of that work too. So I want to be sure that number one, I have a good composition. It's where I'm out scouting right now. I want to get something cool in the foreground. I want to try to do something unique in my Milky Way shot, but more importantly, I want all of my settings correctly. I want to get my stars really sharp within my photograph. Sometimes, you know, you think you get the stars right, but then you get the photograph on your computer screen in post-processing and you can see that they're a little bit off. So I want to avoid that as much as possible, and that's why I like to go out in the field and set my infinity point to focus on tack sharp objects really far away before I get out in the field. Now I want to show you exactly how I do that. Okay, number one, when you're scouting locations, you want to be sure that you're using all the gear that you're actually going to use when you're shooting Milky Ways or night photos. So right now I have the exact camera that I'm going to use. I'm going to use my Sony a6000, and I have my lens I'm going to use, the ultra wide angle rokinon 12mm f2. The f2 is going to give me tons of light options for Milky Ways, capturing all that Milky Way goodness. And what I want to do with this is set up my infinity point. Now, if you've ever worked with lenses before, you have an autofocus and a manual focus. This lens is actually only manual focus, which is what I like for night photography. So all I have to do is be sure that my focus is on point. So what I do to do that is turn on my camera and I set everything to live mode so I can see everything going on. After that, what I like to do is zoom in to the frame on something that's really far away. In the distance here, there is a cell phone tower that's on top of a mountain. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna focus really intently on the very top of that cell phone tower. It's gonna be really small within the frame, but I know if I focus on something that small, I'm going to get that tack sharp. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that just watching what I have right now. I'm just gonna slightly set that to infinity. That looks about right there. Now you can trust your eyes to do this just to have everything within acceptable focus, but if you have poor eyesight or if you just want to be on the safe side, I would recommend using something like focus peaking if your camera has that. It's always smart to be on the safe side with night photography just because you're waking up really early or you're staying up really late at night and you're lacking in sleep and you're not really thinking clearly. It's better to be on the safe side with this. Now, what I've noticed with infinity points on different cameras is that sometimes they can be slightly off. What you want to watch for is that infinity line. Now, there's a line on every camera that has your infinity point on it. Mine is slightly to the left, and if I get out in the field at night and I start to set that infinity point and adjust it and slide it around, and I just look to that line that the infinity point is supposed to be on, well, it may not be to infinity exactly. So this is why I'm doing this in the field now. Knowing that it's slightly to the left of the infinity line point, I know that I'm gonna get tack sharp stars. I wouldn't have if I had trusted that line. I get out and test this beforehand, as I think you should with every single lens that you shoot night photos with to get tack sharp stars. So the next obvious question is, well, how do you know that that point's going to stay on your lens before you head out into the field in a few days to shoot nights? That's a good question. You could pray, or you could come prepared like I did with this pencil. You could also use a grease pencil or a piece of tape for this, or like one of those gray Sharpies or silver Sharpies that they have. And all I'm gonna do to be sure I have this exactly right is I'm just gonna mark on my lens exactly where that point is. Knowing that, I'm going to be able to know exactly where I need to set my lens for infinity. Getting a Sharpie out is good. You might want to do that with each one of your lenses. I prefer like pencil or tape just because it's not permanent. If you ever want to resell your gear, that might be the better option. Guys, you can literally do this trick with anything that you want to. You don't even have to go far from your home. If you want to just go ahead and set your infinity point before you get out into the field, I mean, you could step outside your front door, your garage, and just find a small point in the distance. If you want to go and scout and get the exact location that you want, go ahead and do that too, but just be sure that you mark your lens with the correct infinity point and you'll be good to go with night photography. All right guys, the next thing that you have to do with Milky Way is just pray that you get good conditions. Actually, that's not really the best way. Actually go out and plan out your composition. I made an entire video on planning. Again, I'm gonna share that right here on the screen so you can go and view that. If you like this video, if you found it useful at all, subscribe to this channel for more, hit the thumbs up, or comment below on your favorite Milky Way experience.